good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Yourgeylangserai Virtual CC. My name's Pamela, and I will be leading a 45-minute yoga flow today. Okay, so before we get started, same things. Props are good to have. So if you have, do stand by 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you could always replace them with thick books. Just make sure they're stable, or maybe even 2 water bottles of roughly the same height. Okay, so these props will be useful when you're doing certain poses. Okay, like your forward folds, maybe even single leg balancing poses. And a towel to cushion your knees with when you're doing kneeling poses, and also to help you in binds and maybe even in forward folds. Okay, so we might use them today. We'll see how it goes. So before we get started, just gentle reminder to pace yourself in the coming 45 minutes. Do what you can. Okay, don't feel pressured to take every single variation or even taking the final shape. Rest whenever you need to. Come into your child's pose and don't have to wait for me to cue you into a break. Okay, so without further ado, just find a comfortable seat on the mat. Sitting up nice and tall from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. And softly close your eyes. Okay, just take a few moments to let your body settle in. Begin to center yourself by turning your awareness inwards. You're just noticing your breath moving in and out through your nose. Observe how your belly expands and your chest rises as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, your belly deflates and your chest softens. And maybe just practice same count breathing. You could be taking 4, 5, or 6 seconds to breathe in, and same counts to breathe out. Keep your breath smooth and gentle. And also use this time to let go of any thoughts and any distractions. Just basically letting go of anything that doesn't serve you in your practice. Couple more rounds here with eyes still closed. On your next inhalation, blink open your eyes very gently. Nice. Now once your eyes are open, let's continue with a seated side bend. So just start to walk your right hand out towards your right side. Stretch your left arm overhead. Okay, so reaching through your left fingertips as you keep that left side of your body long. Soften that right shoulder away from your right ear. So option 1, you can remain here, slight bend in your elbow. Option 2, some of you might be able to lower your right forearm down to the floor. Okay, so doing so, don't lift that left hip, ground it. Again, so stretch, nice. Now either look forward, look upwards, or look down. Inhale, come back up to center. Other side, walking the left hand out towards the left. Slowly, stretch your right arm overhead. Okay, so right shoulder is away from right ear, left shoulder away from left ear as well. Stay here, option 1. Option 2, perhaps lower your left forearm down to the mat completely. Okay, only if it's accessible, don't force. Right hip stays down, breathe. Eyes now inhale, come back up to center. From here, place your right hand over your left knee, left hand on the mat behind your back. Okay, so take an inhale as you lengthen, sit up taller, and on your exhale, gently twist from your navel upwards. So you're revolving vertebrae by vertebrae as you gently push that left knee with your right hand resisting this. Our left knee resisting this. Okay, looking past your left shoulder. Release your twist, look forward, switch sides. Okay, so left hand over right knee, right hand on the mat behind your back. Again, take an inhale as you lengthen, sit up tall. Exhale, twisting vertebrae by vertebrae. So continue to hug front ribs in, belly in. Okay, so to protect your lower back as you're working on the many twisting poses today. Gently release your twist. Slowly, okay, nice. Now look forward, come onto all fours. So you're on your hands and knees, tabletop position. So at this point, if you need, you can always pat your knees with a towel. Stacking the shoulders on top of your wrists with knees in line with your hips. Spread the fingers wide comfortably. Okay, thread the needle. Keep your left hand on the mat. I'm going to now stretch your right hand up towards the ceiling. Reach it up, maybe even looking up at your right fingers. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left. So scooping your right hand under, gently resting your face on the floor. Okay, so if for whatever reason the face doesn't touch the mat, can slide a block underneath your cheek. Now hips remain level here. Option 1, you could keep your left fingers on the mat close to your face. Option 2, perhaps walk your left hand forward. You might want to stay on all 5 finger pads. And option 3, only if it's accessible, take a half bind. So internally rotate that left shoulder as you wrap your left hand around and perhaps hold on to your right thigh if you can. Okay, nice now. Gently push the floor with your right upper arm. You're twisting towards your left. Curl that left shoulder back. Nice. Okay, so still keep ribs in, belly in, sides of your neck long. Release your bind or release your left hand wherever it is. Place your palm on the mat next to your face. Push yourself back up. Stretch your right hand up towards the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, release. Lower your right hand down to the floor. Switch sides. Inhale. Stretch left hand up now towards the ceiling. Exhale. Thread your left arm underneath your right. Scoop it under. Slowly. Again, if you need to, slide a block underneath your cheek. Option 1, right fingers on the mat close to your face. 2, you could walk your right hand forward. And 3, take a half bind. Wrap your right hand around. Perhaps hold on to your left thigh. Now notice the hips are still even here. Again, as you gently twist towards your right side, take your right shoulder back. Press the floor away with your left upper arm lightly. And release your right hand down to the floor, next to your face. Push yourself back up and stretch your left hand up towards the ceiling once more, maybe even looking upwards. And exhale, release. Lower your left hand down to the mat. Plank, high push-up. Okay, so first plank for the afternoon. Straighten your legs. Okay, so in plank pose, it's a weight-bearing pose. Remember, you want to grip the mat with all 10 finger pads. Claw the mat, okay, and push the floor away. Okay, keeping your upper back broad. From here, lift your hips high as you find your first downward facing dog. So with your feet hip width, hands shoulder width, grip the mat, push the floor away, lengthening through your spine. Now you can either stay in stillness or some of you might choose to paddle your legs now. So you're bending one knee as you straighten your other, pushing the heels down into the mat. You could also be swinging your hips from side to side by lifting both your heels and just lower them down to your right. Come back to center, heels to the left. Maybe repeat that once more. And when you're ready, find stillness. Okay, so just take your time here. Do any other movements that might come naturally to you. So if you're tighter hamstrings, don't worry about straightening the legs. Can bend your knees slightly. Okay, so focus on lengthening the spine more rather than rounding. Nice. Now, one more big breath in, down dog. On your next inhalation, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. 3-legged dog, straight leg. Exhale, you're going to curl that right knee to your forehead or nose. Okay, so this is a little bit of core work now. Can you lift the right shin away from your mat? Nice. And gently step the right foot forward between your palms. Lower your left knee down to the floor. Anjaneyasana. Lifting your chest up. Take your time. If you need to, you can pause here first. Hands pressing on your right thigh so you keep your chest up. When you're ready, sweep your arms overhead. Okay, so hips are squaring forward. Hug inner thighs and descend your hips. Continue to lengthen. Again, sides of your waist long as you reach up. Now on your exhale, hands on the floor. Half split. Straighten your right leg. Shifting the hips back. Okay, so keep your left thigh vertical. Flex your front foot. As always, if your hands don't quite touch the mat, you're going to grab your blocks and place them on either side of your right foot like that. You can inhale here as you lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Okay, so Doesn't matter if your belly is nowhere near your thigh, just keep folding forwards. Think about reaching the chest towards your right toes a bit more. Okay, so front foot flex, drive your right heel down into the mat. Nice, our next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Rebend your right knee to ground your foot. Lizard, shift the right foot about 1 inch to your right side, or maybe 2. Turn your toes out just a bit and place your right palm on the floor inside of your right foot. So option 1, you're here. You're high on your hands. Option 2, you could use your blocks. Lower, forearms down to blocks. Option 3, forearms on the mat directly. Okay, so just try to line up your elbows with the arch of your right foot. Okay, if you want to, go ahead, can tuck your back toes to lift your left knee. Okay, so straighten the left leg. Still keep your hips even. Okay, hips are square. Nice, and just gazing softly at the space between your thumbs as you keep collarbones broad. Nice, now very slowly, hands on the floor. Push back up, step your right leg back, plank pose. Okay, so high push-up. Nice, as you come back to plank, our first vinyasa, knees down to the floor. Modified vinyasa, shifting the chest forward, slowly lower down, all the way, lie flat on your belly. Point your toes back, baby cobra. Okay, so hands on the mat next to your chest. Roll your shoulders back, inhale to lift. Lift chin, lift chest, hug elbows in, push down through your thighs. From here, lift your hips back up, downward facing dog, go back. Okay, so going back to your inverted V. Nice. Okay, let's repeat the same sequence on the left now. Inhale, lifting left leg up. Exhale, left knee to forehead or nose. Curl the knee in. Step your foot forward between your palms. Right knee on the floor. Anjaneyasana. Lift your chest up. Take your time. Again, hands could be here for a moment. When you're ready, stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, so hips squaring forward. Hug in the thighs and descend your hips. Breathe here. Nice, so slowly release hands on the floor. Half split. Straighten the left leg. Keep your right thigh vertical. Flex front foot again. As always, grab your blocks if you need. Okay, if your hands don't quite touch the mat. Front foot flex. Drive your left heel down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale again. You're hinging from hips, reaching chest forwards. Breathe. Okay, so actively feel like you want to squeeze or drag your left heel towards your right knee. Okay, so hug everything towards the midline. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Rebend that left knee to ground your foot, lizard. Shift the left foot about 1 or 2 inches out to your left and place your left hand inside of your left foot. Okay, so option 1, you could remain here. Option 2, blocks, lower. Forearms down to blocks. And option 3, forearms on the mat directly. Don't force it. Okay, so front shin remains vertical. You could also choose to lift your right leg. Okay, so straighten. Breathe here. Nice, and coming back up. Hands on the floor. Move the blocks aside if you're using one. Step your left leg back. Plank pose. High push-up. So you come back to plank. Knees down to the floor. So you're going to level up from what we did earlier. Option to take a half Chaturanga. Okay, so if you're new to this, you can just watch first. And you're going to shift the chest forward. So the shoulders will go past your wrists. Now, keeping ribs and belly in, either start to just bend your elbows slightly. Okay, so this could be your maximum today. Some of you might be able to lower your elbows halfway down and hold. Nice, and come into a cobra. So it could be slightly higher than the cobra you did before. Micro bend your elbows, chest forward, push down through your thighs. And lift your hips back up. Downward facing dog. Okay, so you don't have to do half Chaturanga. You could always just lower the whole body all the way down to the floor. That could be a good option as well. Okay, so as you come into down dog, just pause here for a moment. Nice, and notice you're still lifting through both forearms, keeping your upper back broad. And think about externally rotating your upper arms as you lift your hips a little bit higher. Nice, now moving along from here, bend both your knees slightly. Look forward at your hands. Slowly walk your feet forward. Come all the way to the top edge of the mat into a forward fold. Okay, so with your feet about hip width distance, soft bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Root to rise, push down through your feet as you slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking your spine, let your head be the last to come up and sweep your arms overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Okay, let's carry on with our flow. So tree pose, I'm just going to turn around to face you. You will still be facing the top edge of the mat. Hands on both hips. Start to shift the weight to your right foot. Slowly, lift your left knee. Okay, so as you lift left knee, you're going to open that knee out to the side. Place the foot either against your inner thigh, if that's accessible. If not, calf or ankle. Okay, take your time. So swap your foot against inner thigh. Hips are facing forward. Whoa. Take your time. Nice. Now hands could be at your heart center. Or maybe stretch your arms overhead. Okay, your palms, you could also choose to interlace your fingers and extend your index. Okay, so many options. Nice. Now think about pressing your left foot into your right leg resisting this. Stand up a little bit taller. Still keeping front ribs in, belly in. Nice. Now from here, cactus your hands. Slowly. You're going to take eagle arms. So crossing your right hand on top of your left. Slowly. Okay, so this could be your option 1. So it's like a looser X shape. Option 2, if possible, single bind. So you're pressing the back of your hands together. Option 3 would be a double bind. So you're going to keep your palms facing outwards and wrap your wrists around each other. Gently lifting your elbows with your hands away from face, shoulders down. Okay, let's set up our legs now. Lift your left knee to your chest. Bend your right knee and cross your left thigh on top. Okay, so maybe you could hook the foot behind your calf. If that doesn't work, just tap the foot at the side. Maybe even tap your toes down to the floor. Okay, so hips are facing forward. Sit the hips a little bit lower. Continue to lift your elbows. Breathe, focus on one point in front. So sit back like you would in a chair pose. Breathe here. Nice. Now from here, moving along. Okay, so keeping the bind only in your hands. Unravel your legs. Take your time. Warrior 3. Okay, so start to extend your left leg back. Kick it back. So you extend your left leg back. So think capital letter T shape now. And you're still extending your elbows forward while in that bind. Square off your hips, hug inner thighs together. Slowly, high lunge. Bend your right knee. Step your left foot back. Once you come into high lunge, release your bind, stretch your arms up. I know that was a little bit tricky. So if you fall out, just come back. Nice, take your time, hips facing front. Bend that right knee to a square and reach both your arms up. Again, front ribs in, belly in. Take a breath here, inhale. And on your exhale, fold forwards, hands on the mat, hands framing right foot. Pyramid pose variation. Can you now straighten the right leg from here? Okay, so notice I did not shift the feet at all, so same distance. Just straighten right leg. Grab your blocks if you need. Place them on either sides of your right leg. Square off your hips. Okay, so both hip bones are even. Take a breath here, inhale, and exhale, we fold. Okay, so folding over right leg. Again, drive your right heel down into the floor. Maybe belly to your thigh and breathe. Nice, and next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Rebend your right knee to ground your foot. Okay, easy twist, placing your left palm on the mat inside of your right foot. Twisting on your exhale, stretch your right hand up. Okay, so reaching out to your fingertips. Keep your left thigh lifted, front knee bent to a square. Again, you're hugging inner thighs together. Nice, and bringing your right hand to your right hip. So we're going to move into your side plank slowly, but surely. Walk your left wrist just slightly forward. Okay, so your wrist is in front of your left shoulder a bit. Swivel onto the knife edge side of your left foot now. Okay, so you want to keep your foot active. Option 1, you could step your right foot halfway to the middle. Let me just turn around so you could see my right foot a little bit clearly. Okay, so option 1, this could be option 1, right foot to the middle with your knee and toes in the same direction. Option 2, feeling a little bit stronger, go ahead, step your right foot back. Okay, so you could place your right foot in front of your left. Maybe stack your feet. Nice, okay, and actively again, left hand pushes the floor away, lift your hips, maybe stretch your right hand up. Breathe here, okay, so keep the left shoulder hip pointing forward. From side plank, plank pose. Lower your right palm down to the floor. Take your time. Okay, so you have two options. You could do half Chaturanga or lower the whole body all the way down. Okay, so you're shifting the chest forward if you're doing half Chaturanga. Either bend your elbows slightly and hold. If you can, halfway down, keeping the shoulders and elbows in line, ribs and belly in. Nice. Cobra, shoulders back, chest forward, press your thigh bones down, and lift your hips back up, downward facing dog. Again, just pausing for a couple of breaths in down dog. So anytime you need child's pose, take it. And so press the floor away. You just take this time to check in with yourself. Check in with your breath. Nice. Now bend both your knees slightly. Again, look forward at your hands. Step or walk forward to the front. Uttanasana, forward fold. On your inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Root to rise. Ground down through your feet as you slowly roll up. Okay, so no rush here. Take your time. Stretch your arms overhead, maybe even looking up at your lifted hands. And on your exhale, hands to your heart center. Okay, so let's repeat everything from the top on the other leg now. Okay, so you can start off by holding onto your hips, shifting the weight now to your left foot. Tree pose. Lift your right knee. Take the knee out to the side. Okay, so if you can, you're going to place the foot against your inner thigh, maybe calf, maybe ankle. Once you're ready, hands to heart center. Or you could reach your arms overhead. Okay, so grow tall here in the tree, standing legs strong, and spread your toes, ground down through all corners of your foot. Whoa, nice. Okay, so you should be facing the top edge of the mat. Breathe. From here, cactus your hands. Nice, let's take eagle arms. Can you now cross your left hand on top of your right? Again, option 1 maybe. It's kind of like a single bind, but not exactly that. Option 2, press the back of your hands together. Option 3, full bind. Lift your elbows up slightly with hands away from your face and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Nice. Lifting the right knee now. So let's set up the legs. Bend your left knee and cross your right thigh on top of your left. Okay. So it's optional to hook the foot behind your bottom calf. Don't force it. You could just tap the foot at the side. Nice. Okay. So keep your hips back. Squeeze inner thighs together. Descend your hips. While focusing on one stationary point in front. Nice. Now keep the bind only in your hands. Start to unravel your legs. Warrior 3. Tip forward. Extend your right leg back. Careful. Slowly. Nice. So think capital letter T shape now. So if you notice your right hip turning out towards your right side, try to square off your hips. Ribs in, belly in. Nice. Now high lunge. Bend your left knee. Slowly step your right foot back. Release your bind. Stretch both your arms up. Breathe. Okay, so at this point, high lunge legs. Well, they should be hip width distance. If you need to adjust, just shift the left foot slightly to your left. Straighten that back leg, lift your heel, push down through the ball of your back foot. Okay, so reaching your arms upwards. Take another inhale here as you lengthen. On your exhale, hands on the floor, framing left foot. Pyramid pose variation, straightening that front leg. Scruff your hips again, so left hip back. Again, if you need, grab your blocks. This one will turn the other way. You don't have to move. Again, grab your blocks if you need and place them on either side of your left leg. Left hip back. Nice. Now inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forwards. So if you can, try to also flex the foot like I'm doing so and actively ground your left heel into the mat. Maybe belly to your thigh. Inhale, look forward halfway. Rebend your knee to ground your foot. Okay, so if you're using blocks, you can just place them aside for now. Right hand on the mat, inside of your left leg. Twisting on your exhale, stretch left hand upwards. Okay, so you're going to keep your right thigh straight or lifted. Bend that front knee a little bit more. Squeeze inner thighs together. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Side plank. Again, so just setting this up step by step. Right hand, just make sure it's a little bit in front of your shoulder, more stable that way. Swivel onto the knife edge side of your right foot. Okay, so option 1, you could step your left foot halfway to the middle like that. Option 2, step your left foot back. Either place the foot in front, maybe stacking. Squeeze inner thighs, lift your hips, push the floor away. Again, your right hand is active, press the floor away. Nice. Now plank pose, look at the mat, lower your left hand down to the floor. Once you're back in plank, knees down. Again, so you're just going to be working on half Chaturanga today, or maybe lower the whole body all the way down. Shifting, chest forward. Nice, okay? So keeping the shoulders away from ears, don't shrug. start to descend. Okay, so it doesn't have to be super low too. From here, Cobra, shoulders back, chest forward, push down through your thighs, and lift your hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Go back. Okay, few breaths here in down dog. Again, if you need at home, take your child's pose. And just join us whenever you're ready. Those who are staying down dog with me, again, so keeping forearms lifted, not collapsing, hands might be a little bit more tired now. Or still keeping upper back broad. Push the floor away, so it's super active in down dog. One more big breath here. Nice. On your next inhale, let's all lift. Right leg up. Three-legged dog, straight leg. Exhale, right knee to your forehead or nose. Okay, so similar actions again. So lifting direction away from the mat, knee to your face like you want to kiss it. Gently step right foot forward between your palms. Warrior 2. Left foot flat. Push down through your feet. Let's rise up. Windmill your arms up. Since you come up in Warrior 2, can you try to line up firstly, ankles below your wrists, and see if you're able to line up your right heel with the arch of the heel of your back foot. Okay, so spine is long. Straight arms, nice, and look past your right fingers. Let's reverse. Flip the right palm up, inhale, and exhale. Sweep right arm overhead, reach it back. Okay, so left hand is light on your left leg. Now as you reach your right hand back, just notice the knee isn't collapsing to your left. Keep the knee pointing forward. Inhale, come back up, Warrior 2. Nicely done. Side angle. Okay, so you have a few options here. Option 1, take supported. So resting right forearm on your right thigh. Stretch your left arm towards the ceiling, out overhead. Okay, so keep the right shoulder still soft away from your right ear. Option 2, maybe you could grab your block. Rest your hand on the block inside of your right foot. Or if you don't need the block, the hand could be on the mat. And option 3, half bind. Left hand goes around the back. Okay, so you're going to pause in the half bind. Again, so spin that left shoulder back. Nice, okay, if you can, keep your right hand a little bit lighter on the floor, maybe staying on your finger pads. Okay, so you're twisting. Again, twisting your right rib under and up as you ground down through your left foot. Breathe. Very nice. Now release your bind if you have one. Can you place both your hands on the floor, framing right foot? Okay, so right hand outside right foot, left hand inside right foot. Spin your left heel up. We're going to do a transition to sit down here. A fun one for you, I hope. Can you now slide your left shin? Okay, so that's your back shin. Slide your left shin forward. Bring it behind your right heel. And lower your bum down as gracefully as you can. So once you're on the mat, you should have your right knee bent. Draw your left heel closer to your groin. Sit up taller. Okay, Chaturanga. Holding on to your right foot with both hands. Okay, let me just face the same direction as you guys. Holding on to your right foot with both hands. Sit up a little bit taller. Okay, you now start to lift your right leg. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's not super straight. Just do what you can. Shoulders down. And spread your toes. Nice. And start to just draw your shin closer to your face. So as you bring your shin closer again, don't fall back. Still sit up taller. Keep both your sitting bones grounded, especially your right hip. Nice. If you can, shin a little bit closer. Maybe you're looking at your right toes. Breathe. Nice. Now we're going to take this into your twist. So with your left hand, can you try to hold the little toe side of your right foot? Okay, bring your right hand to the mat behind your back. Take an inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, gently twist towards your right. So as you're twisting towards your right, notice if your right hip has shifted with your twist, try to draw your right hip forward. And lightly kick your right foot into your left palm. Nice. Now option 1, you could stay here again. So shoulders level, you're twisting vertebrae by vertebrae towards your right. Option 2, if you're stable, you can float your right hand back. Maybe even choosing to look back at your right fingers. Nice. Now release your twist. Look forward. Gently lower your right foot down to the floor. Uncross your legs. Bring your knees together. Boat pose. Okay, so you could start to lean back and maybe hold the back of your thighs slightly first to start. Draw your knees in closer to your chest. Nice. Okay, so if you can, now start to reach your hands forward. Spread your toes. Nice. Point You could flex, you could flaunt your feet. Chest up, broaden through collarbones. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, idle core work, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your feet down to the mat. We're going to stand back up to a chair pose. Okay, so hands on the floor here to help you. Shift the weight more forward, push into the floor, and come back up. Chair. Okay, so take your time. Might not be a easy transition for some of you. Okay, so take your time, come back up to chair. And as you come back up to chair, bring your feet a bit closer together. Knees bent. Hands to heart center in prayer. Okay, so we're going to continue with our series of twisting poses. On your inhale, lengthen. Just, you know what, I'll come to the top so you can see my right side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twisting towards your right side. Okay, so hook left elbow outside of your right knee. Nice. Okay, so it's a quick look at your own knee. Is your left knee now popping forward? Can you try to draw your left hip back? Okay, so left elbow outside right thigh. If you can, sit the hips a little bit lower. Hands close to your heart center. Right shoulder back. Collarbones breathe. Nice. Now release your twist. Fold forwards. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands on the mat. Step back, plank pose. Take your time. Come back to a high push-up. And as you come back to a plank, knees down to the floor. Option again, maybe lower the whole body all the way down. Or give that half chaturanga another go. Shifting the chest forward, shoulders back. Bend your elbows either slightly or halfway down and hold. Nice. And from here, Cobra. Micro bend your elbows, chest forward. And lift your hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Okay, so going back to your inverted V shape. Okay, so you know what to expect on your left side. No surprises already. Once you're ready, inhale, lifting left leg up. 3-legged dog. Okay, so try to square off your hips. Exhale, left knee to forehead or nose. Step your left foot forward, softly between your hands. Warrior 2. Right foot flat. Push down through your feet and windmill your arms up. Okay, so as you come up, just take this time to adjust. Can you maybe get your ankles below your wrists if they are not already there? Lining up your left heel with the arch of the heel of your back foot. Bend that front knee to a square. So knee tracking, second toe. Stretch out through your arms. Let's reverse. Flip left arm up, inhale. And exhale, sweep your left arm overhead. Okay, so keep your right hand light on your right leg. Hips are still even, you're not shifting. Hips are level. Breathe. Inhale, come back up, warrior 2. Nice, side angle again. So you have your menu options here. Left forearm and left thigh. Reach your right arm overhead. Okay, supported side angle. So continue to spin that right shoulder back. 2, you could rest fingers on the floor or on the block. 3, half bind. Wrap your right hand around. Okay, so if you wrap your right hand around, maybe you could tuck your fingers in the left inner thigh. Yes, to spin that right shoulder back. Gently release your bind, or just release your hands wherever they are. Hands framing your left foot on the floor. Spin that back heel up. Okay, so that little funky transition to sit down. So look ahead. Slide your back shin forward. Bring it behind your left heel and slowly sit your bum down to the floor. So once you're on the mat, so the right heel is closer to your groin. You're going to keep your left knee bent, sit up taller. Start to hold on to the sole of your left foot with both hands. Sit upright. Lift your left leg. Yay, Kronchasana. Okay, so left leg straight. Again, if it's not super straight, that's okay. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Nice. If you can still do a little bit more here, try to bring the shin closer to your face. If you can, like you want to kiss your leg. Nice. Okay, so left hip stays down. Spine stays long. Let's twist again. Right hand, holding on to the little toe side of your left foot, slowly. Bring your left hand to the mat behind your back, somewhere there in the middle. Inhale, again, lengthen. Exhale, gently twist from navel upwards. Okay, so as you're twisting, remember, ribs in, belly in, revolving vertebrae by vertebrae without shifting your left hip. Okay, so both hip bones are still facing forward. Once you're here, maybe try to float your left hand. Still okay here? Look past your left fingers. Okay, so spine is long, don't collapse. Lightly kick your left foot into your right hand. Release your twist, look forward slowly. Nice. Now rebend your left knee to lower your foot. Uncross your legs as you now bring both your knees together. Board pose. Okay, so you could start off with holding the back of your thighs again, like what we did before. Lean back, lift your shins. Okay, so this round a little bit more dynamic. We're going to add twist. Stretch both your hands forward. Okay, so feet together, knees together. Inhale again, lengthen. Exhale, twisting towards your right. So as you twist towards your right, still keep your knees even, knees together. Try to think about pressing your left arm into your right leg. Inhale, center. Twist towards your left. Right arm outside left leg. Nice. Inhale back to center. Just two more like this. Twist towards your right. Left hand outside right leg. Inhale, center. Twist towards your left. Again, you guessed it. Arm presses into your thighs. You keep your knees together. Last set. Almost there. Inhale, center. Twist towards your right. Nice. Center towards your left. Still keep the spine long. Inhale back to center. Pause here. Nice. Now lower your feet on the floor. Chair pose again. So hands are there to help you. Push yourself back up slowly. Coming back to a chair. Here's as you find chair again. So your knees are not popping forward. Draw your knees back. Hips back. Can you now bring your hands to touch in prayer? Inhale and exhale. Twist once again towards your left side. Okay, so as you're twisting towards your left, yes, your right elbow is hooking outside of your left knee. Still keep your knees level. So right knee will want to move forward. Draw your right hip back. Elbow presses into your thigh. Maybe, okay, if you can, you could perhaps try to look upwards, look past your left shoulder, up. Hands close to your heart center, ribs in, belly in. Release your twist, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands on the floor, step back to plank. Nice, as you step back to plank, options, lower the body all the way down. Option 2, half Chaturanga. Again, so shifting chest forward. Keep the shoulders back, okay? Don't shrug them. Bend your elbows either slightly or halfway down. Nice. Into your Cobra, thighs on the mat. Roll shoulders back, micro bend your elbows. Okay, so it doesn't have to be super high. It could even be a slightly lower Cobra. And slowly sit back on your heels, child's pose. Okay, so taking a little break here in child with your hands either stretching forward, or if it suits you, go for it. Just take your arms beside your body. Okay, resting the forehead on the floor. Can even bring your knees a little bit wider with big toes to touch. Nice, a couple more rounds here in child's pose. Now those with your hands beside your body, can I please get you to stretch your hands to the front? Still stay in your child's pose shape, side bends. Start to walk both your hands towards the right side edge of the mat now. Okay, so as you walk your hands towards your right, you might want to stay on all 10 finger pads. Push your finger pads down to the floor. Lengthen the left side of your body. Now notice if your left shoulder is a little bit higher, try to keep your shoulders level. Okay, left shoulder down. And left hip, press it back into your left heel. Now option 1, you could remain here. Option 2, maybe deepen this slightly by walking your left hand more towards your right, okay? So that you eventually stack your palms. Okay, so it's a little bit deeper. Come back to center. Other side, walk your hands towards your left now. Again, so right shoulder on the lift, draw your right shoulder down. Lengthen the right side of your body and keep your right hip back onto your heel. Stay here, option 1. Option 2, walk your right hand more to your left and stack your palms. Nice, now inhale back to center. From here, roll back up to a tabletop position and lie down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, point your toes back. Stretch your arms beside your body. Shalabhasana. Inhale, you're going to lift your chin, lift your chest, reach your fingers towards your feet and lift both your legs up. Okay, so don't let your legs go out too wide, maybe hip width or slightly wider. Reaching the arms back towards your feet. Again, keep your collarbones broad as you draw shoulder blades closer together. Slowly release, come back down. Let's do that once more. Interlace the fingers this time. Okay, so if you can, you're going to even press your palms together. Again, if it's too much for your shoulders, hold a towel or strap instead. Bring the feet slightly closer together to start. Inhale, you're going to lift your chin, lift your chest, shoulders away from ears, and start to drag your knuckles towards your feet. So as you're dragging your knuckles back, you still feel like you are squeezing a block between your arms. Okay, so just keep your arms active. Lift both your legs, look forward, neck is long, keep the ribs and belly in, hold. And gently release. Lower your body down to the floor. Release your hands, turn yourself around, lie on your back. Okay, so just flip yourself around, lie on your back. Once you find yourself on your back, figure four. Crossing, right ankle on top of your left knee. Flex your foot. Start to bring your left thigh close to your chest. Taking that right hand through the gap between your legs and hug your left shin or left thigh. Okay, so from here, you want to draw your left thigh closer as you keep that right thigh moving away from your belly. So keeping that external hip rotation. So right foot is flexed. Spread your toes. Shoulders down. Breathe. Nice. Now uncross your legs. Switch sides. Okay, so left ankle on top of right knee. Flex your foot. Take your left hand through the gap and hug your right shin or right thigh. So you're going to draw the right thigh closer to your chest and keep that left thigh externally rotated. Nicely done now. Uncross your legs. For a moment, take a nice neutral pose. So with your knees still bent, separate your feet to about mat width distance. Okay, and just let your knees touch. Okay, so feet mat width, knees to touch. Options to have your hands beside your body. Or two, stretch your arms overhead and hold on to opposite elbows. Okay, you can start to close your eyes here as we prepare ourselves for Shavasana. Okay, just taking this time to bring the awareness back to your breath. And again, feel your belly expanding as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, your belly deflates. Your chest softens. If you're holding on to opposite forearms, feel free to switch the cross. So you could do opposite forearm on top now. Nice. Now keeping your breath smooth and gentle. Try to slow it down. Nice. Okay, so if you want to spend a bit more time here, by all means, stay. Otherwise, Shavasana. Lower your hands back down beside your body. And slowly straighten the legs one by one. And as you come into your final resting pose, you can do any adjustments if necessary. Just let your toes turn out sideways. Let your fingers curl naturally. And with your eyes closed, can you soften the space between your eyebrows? Soften your jaw. Unshrug the shoulders. Just let go of your practice. Let go of any tension in your body with each outgoing breath. Just let your body be still, be completely present. As you allow your body to absorb all the benefits from your practice earlier. Nice. Now, if you have a little bit more time on your hands, please stay longer in Shavasana, maybe a couple more minutes. Otherwise, let's start to deepen your breath. Move your fingers and move your toes. Bring your legs together to touch. Stretch your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms upwards. Point your toes and stretch like you just woke up. And exhale, release. Bend both your knees. Roll over to your side for a short while. Okay, you could rest on your upper arm in a fetal position. With your eyes still closed, push yourself back up. Sit comfortably facing the front or anywhere. Once you're up and seated, you could choose to have your hands on your knees or join me in Anjali Mudra with palms together to touch at your heart center. With a gentle bow of your head, bring the awareness back to this present moment on your mat, wherever you are, by blinking your eyes open very, very slowly. Namaste. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for practicing with me. Have a great weekend ahead, and I hope to see you guys same time next week, okay, at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Bye. Thank you.